Alrighty guys, so we've got the 78 Exciter 440 out. This is the parts sled for our race sled. This is when we bought in that storage unit auction a while back. Put the new intake boot on it, and then we had like no compression, we couldn't get it running. Well, I ended up starting it today. Must have soaked enough and built enough compression to start. But regardless, we're gonna get the motor pulled out. I wanna inspect the chain case. We got some gears we bought yesterday to swap me. We wanna make sure we got the right stuff. And I'll take the clutches off and see how that's gonna go. But yeah, try to record what I can here, and like I said, get the motor out, disconnect the linkages. Got the motor out. Once again, it's just 4 studs basically in your motor mount plates mounted to rubber bushings. You can see the nuts and washers are there. There's the motor leaking a little bit of oil out of the pump. Basically what we're going to do, the ignition on the 440 and 340 is the same. So we're going to take all the ignition parts, because we know this motor had good spark. So we can keep all that, kind of clean it up, put it away in a box. The other motor parts, maybe we could sell them, part them out, whatever we're going to do with it. And the clutch we're going to keep, because that clutch obviously is very similar to our 340. Probably the same clutch, just internals might be a little bit different. Secondary clutch we're going to take off. Right now I'm going to try to take the chain case apart and make sure. Here's some gears that we got. You see some manuals too, but these gears I want to see if they're the same as the ones inside of the chain case. Then we know we did good yesterday at the swap and got the right ones. I will be taking the fuel tank off as well, and getting that off of there. And then eventually we'll take the skid and track and all that stuff apart, and front end components, all that stuff will get taken out. Because basically we don't really need anything else besides parts. So if we have all the parts off of it in bins, that will do us wonders. Also have different, steering shaft parts. We'll have links, steering links and everything to reuse and all that good stuff. So I'm waiting for a camera guy so I can get some footage of me actually doing some work instead of just cutting the clips of me already doing the work. Kind of takes the purpose out of the video. But anyways, I'm gonna get a 10mm. Looks like there's a number of bolts here on the chain case. And I'll put a pan underneath so the fluid doesn't totally leak everywhere, which it probably will anyways. And we'll see what's inside the old chain case. So we're working on the 440 Exciter motor. We got that thing stripped down to bare tunnel. We got the parts in a bin over here. Skid, tracks in the back. We're just taking the
skeletons outside.
Yeah, taking the heads off and just just seeing what's going on. Taking this thing apart. Oh, not even bad. Basically what I'm going to do is just put all the hardware in a bin and...
Oh, they don't work as bad as I thought they would.
No. I mean, look at that. The pistons aren't even detonated.
No detonation.
That's crazy.
Scoration plus meltation equals top detonation.
So, gonna get a Sharpie here right on that right side.
Right and left.
Well, you can't. Oh, yeah, I guess
Maybe you could mess it
Yeah,
up.
the bolt. Some of them have where there's bolts screwed in, but the fins go one way. I'll just write on here. Right, because that's how the motor sits in on the right side. Now we have to take either all the cylinder and everything off as one.
Yeah, right with the exhaust. You might have to hit him with a mallard though.
Oh,
there she went. Yep, now let's rock her up. There she goes.
Watch yourself. There she is.
Yeah, no rings left.
Nice.
No rings. No compression.
I mean, it ran. We had it running.
As advertised.
No, it ran this morning.
Really?
It ran this morning.
Yeah,
No.
Yep.
Look at all that oil on those pistons.
That's
it's only...
That ATV.
Oh, yeah.
ATF.
Yeah, here. See? All the rings are stuck.
Yeah, no rings.
Yeah. It did fire this morning though. Me and Spike had it fire like 8 times.
Yeah, they're all
It
just
wouldn't
stuck.
run.
New
but
pistons and rings, boys.
No exhaust. Too.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
Holding the cylinders, new pistons, rings.
Yeah, she's plugged in. So you gotta take this little ear and like kind of like that,
Shove the wrist pin out that way.
and it might come out.
The other way.
I think you can go either way.
Oh, it's coming. It actually is moving, dude. That's
That's
unbelievable.
actually impressive. Get a little a socket that size.
Yeah. There's a bearing.
Nice. How's the needle bearing?
Honestly, not
Not
that
bad.
bad. I mean, it's got some shit on it, but.
I'll put that back.
Yep. work on the ground in a dirty concrete area when you're using a motor. You always have a really strong guy to get these fuckers out, or use an impact screwdriver. You can use a tap on it, but put a tap on the end of it.
No, I need a wrench.
Wrench?
Or something to get this raggy.
Right here.
Fucking grease off his hand. That's what got more gear lube on it?
Yeah. One that's full of oil.
You got it?
Yeah. There it is. Now I just gotta get these other ones just all the way out. How did you start, bud? No, I'm kidding.
He's coming. Yep, you're good. You can grab it with your hand now, probably. Me and Agler out. A little sandy.
Not the worst.
Spike, you want to elaborate on putting these parts away dry versus oil?
Put them away dry. Always.
Only dry, you can't reuse them.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're always gonna check for rod play, up and down. Very good. Actually, it looks really nice.
How does it spin?
Oh, the clutch is rubbing on the ground, otherwise it would spin like $1,000,000. 12 on the fucking quick gun.
Where's the quick gun? I think it's got 10 on it though.
I mean, I'm gonna use this quick gun.
Use that. And here, I got this set up for you over here.
Look at that flywheel.
Actually, it's in
Pretty decent
really good
shape.
shape. Like,
Not
that
rusty
is
at all.
actually really nice. I got my puller here, guys. We'll pull that flywheel off quick. Pull it. We gotta have a guy hold the rods, so when we pull that flywheel, the freaking rods don't get all banged up. Got that. And then now we can actually take off. Pull the flywheel and stator first, then this here outside housing can come off. This is kind of on top of it. And then there's a grommet with the wires. So this here is probably like a 21 or something. So there's a flywheel, looks like a lock washer and a flat washer. And I keep all my flywheel recoil stuff kind of all with one. And then we're gonna just pull it off by hand.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. And what you're gonna do is I'll get a puller and I'll thread it into these three here with, hopefully I have M8 by 125 bolts for it. I think I do have enough bolts.
I think we do.
That are long enough. I might even have some with my puller kit, but we're gonna do that and we pull the flywheel off and then we mark the stator plate, take that off, and then we take the cover off and then we're basically just bare engine and crane. Right?
Multiple Yamaha clutch forward.
Yeah.
With flares, but we need some Yamaha stuff.
And you always want to bottom it all the way into the stator so you ruin the stator too. You don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. I think these are 13s.
Yeah.
The threads are kind of I can tell these are metric because it says 10.9 on the head, so I know I got the right ones. We'll just lightly thread them in by hand. Sometimes the freaking threads are a little...
Then put the zip gun on full bore.
You put them on with the air impact. So
Next video is how to.
Do we need another tote for the motor stuff?
Probably.
Yeah, we've been trying to organize. I guess I should say they have been trying to organize.
We went off. We bought some $6.65 totes with the lid.
So yeah, we've been we got too much shit at this point. But we're always looking for good deals. So if we come across one, we're always healthily to jump on it.
Just obligated.
Yeah, it's like it's calling our name.
Your goal on the flywheel puller is to try to get everything even so it pulls straight.
Right.
So right now I got it eyeballed pretty damn good. I got them in about, a 1/4 inch of threads, enough where it won't pull the threads out. And now I gotta find a socket that big and then I'll put like a crescent wrench on here to hold it. And then it should go kapow. Is he okay?
There's a rabid raccoon over there.
Yeah, I got it.
So we'll see if we bust off the flywheel puller or not.
What's more satisfying than guessing the right socket
Oh.
and not having to go back to the box
Yeah,
3 or
it's
4
not having
times?
to go back.
What's more satisfying, breaking off the puller or breaking the crank?
Tools put away too, by the way.
All right, we might need a lot of air pressure. Flipper.
She's full.
Is it?
Yeah.
She's at 140.
All right, boys, you ready? Got it.
Sweet. The magnetism is always great.
Zippity doo dah, boys.
Wow, look at that stator.
Wow.
I mean, beautiful, guys. Usually you see them when they're sitting in a field, they're just full of crusty corrosion, just green, white dust.
Spiders.
And Spideys.
That's why oil leaks are good, kids.
Well, yeah.
And it's best to always get a matched flywheel stator combo because
Yeah, you don't want to.
there's different tolerances and who knows, you know. Yes, it'll work if you mismatch, but it's always good to have a match set.
Yeah.
That's how it was put together back in the 70s, so.
Anyone see a
Mistake, gentlemen.
These got 4 Phillips screws, and we're gonna take a little thing and mark it. So before we take it apart, so we know where it's gonna be timed, and you can adjust that, obviously.
to make ponies?
So who's got that keystone tip screwdriver that Mark just used?
Oh, I put it back on the box.
What I like to do though, because if you just did a Sharpie mark and say you washed in the parts washer, well, your mark's just left. So that's why if you do it in indent, you know, say we line it up with,
Even though we're
that
not
you-
using that at all on that motor, but
we might. So you do a little, that's not gonna hurt it. And I'll do a mark down here in the case.
Perfect.
Just like that. So that way, I can put it back together where I took it apart. Just take this little grommet and we kind of work it out.
Work it through.
Down there.
Oh, there she goes.
Just like that. And then I gotta take
You
my
gotta
coil
unplug-
ground off.
Unplug the ground. Oh, yeah. Unscrew the ground.
Yep.
And that's not even rusted tight.
And I'll make sure I label on here, ground goes there. So that for the next guy, which is gonna be us. Remember
Black
something,
wire ground.
which is pretty common sense. If it has an eyelet, 9 times out of 10, it's gotta go to a ground of some sort.
Yeah.
So now we can take the stator out. Hopefully it fits through there. And you kind of gotta maybe do one at a time.
Through there, yeah.
And now we got this one out. And we got, obviously see the yellow stuff is most likely lighting coil. All that. But you can see, ooh,
That's what I'm saying.
buddy, the crank seal spring gave out on us. And all this can go right by the starter cup stuff. And this could go in my puller box. But this puller is pretty handy if you guys are wondering. There's a part number from Starting Line Products. You can get it through the WPS catalogs and stuff. It looks like it has little dowel pegs that are holding it. Like I said, I figured it'd be a little gasket on there. So that's the other half of your blower housing. And now you basically have just a bare crank. Here's your oil pump. Like I said, that seal is a little fucked. I mean, that crank spins
Like butter.
really, really nice. So
Yeah,
if somebody wanted, they could sell the crank, you know, part the bottom end out.